What is up, everybody? Welcome to the first of many live streams here directly in your gym expert Facebook group. Now, this is the first one, like I said, of what we will be doing every single week at this exact time. Wednesdays, 7 p.m. We will be going live, and every week we're going to have a different topic. You'll know ahead of time what that's going to be. But this is the very first one, like I said. So, what I want to do is I want to first welcome you guys into the group. Secondly, I want to intro you to who I am. Right? I want to give you a big thanks for coming, and I want to just tell you a little bit more about who I am, what you can expect from me, and just tell you my story. I want to let you know who I am, who's Justyn, how did I get here, how did this all become what it is now, and what some of the struggles are that I've been through. What's my gym all about? What kind of training do we do? What struggles did we run into? And how did we come out of those? How did we get to the place that we're in now, which is a good place? And it has also allowed me to build up a ton of skills and a ton of transferable information that I'm going to give to you guys so that you guys can take your facilities to the same place. So I'm going to give you a lot more information there. And then every single week, like I said, we're going to be going through a whole lot of stuff. We're going to focus in on some more specifics every single week as we go so that you can take some very actionable items out of every single one of these calls and apply them directly in your business right away and see some pretty measurable results very, very quickly. So again, I'm going to talk about, where I was, what I was struggling with, what all those problems were. And then I want to talk about what's changed and how we got to and how I got to where I am now. And then, at the end of it, I'll give you a little bit more of what you can expect and what's to come in the future. But again, I want to keep this pretty short and sweet. This is going to be the first one of many. So again, I want to keep this, if I can keep this under 30 minutes, I think we're sitting pretty. So that's my goal for today. I really want to give you guys just a nice big overview of everything that you're going to be able to expect here and just give you the rundown on who I am and what this is going to look like. So, without further delay, I just want to jump right into it. So, obviously, you're here and my name is Justyn. So if we haven't already connected one-on-one, we will chat very soon, I'm sure. But either way, I am super, super happy and thankful and glad to have you as part of this community. Gym owners are amongst some of the greatest people I have ever met. They work tirelessly day in and day out to change lives, to transform people from where they are and the things that they've been struggling with for potentially years. And we put our sweat into it day in and day out to get them to a place where they want to be and a place that they know they need to be for whatever reason that they're looking to transform, right? Whether that's their health, whether that is the health and longevity of others around them, setting good examples for their kids, being able to keep up with their kids, and being able to really just make a difference in not only their own life, but those around them as well. So I'm very appreciative of you guys, of all of the work that you do. I've seen it all firsthand. I have been part of this community for a very long time. And now what I want to do is I want to take gym owners from a place where they're struggling to a place where they can really earn a fruitful living and therefore help more people along the way, because that ultimately is why we are here. We want to be able to help more people, change more lives, and really impact as much as we possibly can. So for me, how did I get started? I have had a facility and we are coming up on our 12th year now in business, which is crazy. Time flies. It's amazing to see. But it hasn't all been sunshines and rainbows. There's been a lot of struggles along the way. And not only has it been tough, there has been a lot of things thrown directly on our lap, things that are completely unforeseen at times, like COVID. And that's another issue that we can tackle and how to pivot quickly. And we'll touch on that in the future. But it has always been tough for gym owners. And it's a very tough space to be in, and it can really grind you and wear you down. And I think for us, a lot of us, the way that we approach things is that we really want to be able to deliver exceptional service. And being a business owner may not be that thing that we are able to excel at. Therefore, our facilities can struggle. And if that struggles and we're not able to bring money in and we're not able to actually pay ourselves enough, then this is not something we're going to be able to sustain long term. And that's exactly where I was. It's exactly where I was. So my facility is half strength and conditioning and half martial arts. So that makes up our big facility where we have had hundreds of members. And even still, we were struggling to bring in enough revenue every single month to actually keep the business alive and to actually be able to continue to grow it and to want to reinvest in not only our space and our trainers and our facility, but just growth. We wanted to actually be able to make the business grow. And that's not something we were able to do because of the things that we couldn't figure out. I didn't know what was going on. And I think a lot of us are in a position where we think we know exactly what we need to do when it comes to the training and how to actually get people results. And that isn't always necessarily what can equate best to business. And there's a lot of things that we need to learn. And if we don't, we struggle. So for me, it had been month over month over month of struggling and really trying to figure out, how am I going to be able to make a change? How am I going to be able to make this profitable? How am I going to be able to actually sustain this business and ensure that this is something that I'm going to be able to do long term? And there are a couple of things that we ended up doing that worked out really well. There's a lot that we tried along the way that it didn't really work out the way that we had hoped, and that's okay. That's given me a lot of information as to the things that work and the things that don't work, and now what can be used and what can be leveraged going forward. The biggest thing was, I'll never forget sitting in meetings with my team and looking at our monthly sales stats. And we didn't really do much in terms of tracking this. It was really basic and very rudimentary. It was really us just trying to figure out how many members we gained this month and how many members we lost. And the recurring theme that we had every single month was, we would get X, we would lose X. So we would get 10 members this month, which sounded exciting, and we would lose 9 members this month. Okay. Next month, we gain 10 and we lose 12. This was the cycle that was continuing to repeat month after month after month. And we're really in a spot where we didn't know what to do. And myself and my team, our solution, let's just sell more. Now, that doesn't really solve anything, right? Our problem was, our most obvious problem, let's put it that way, our most obvious problem was sales. We didn't have enough of them. So, what was our solution? Sell more. Now, that is a crazy blanket statement that doesn't tell us anything at all, because all we were looking at was how many members we gained and how many members we lost. We weren't tracking anything deeper than that. We weren't looking at any other statistics. We weren't monitoring any other statistics. So we didn't actually know where our problems were lying. Was the problem that we weren't getting enough leads every month? Was the problem that we didn't know how to actually convert those leads into paying customers? Was our problem that our retention systems were bad and we were losing too many people? Right? There were so many different nuances that we just didn't understand the depth of, and therefore it made it impossible to truly identify the actual problem of what we were missing, what we were struggling with, and how we were going to get out of it. So for me, I had to take a pretty big holistic look at the business and first of all, take a step back and figure out, what was it that I wanted to get out of it? What did I want to get out of the business? Where did I see the business going? And was there a way for us to get out of it? How are we going to navigate that whole situation? Now, mind you, this is back in about 2017. Obviously, times were different. This is well before COVID, so we didn't have any of that on our radar at all. But it was really important for us to take a look at, again, what it was that we wanted to get out of this business. Are we trying to grow this business to a certain point? Are we looking to expand to multiple locations? Are we looking to exit the business at some point? Now, it's easy to say, let's look at what we want to get out of this. But for us at that particular moment, my biggest priority was, how are we going to survive? How are we going to make it to the next month? And how are we going to continue to pay everybody, pay our rent, pay our expenses, and then on top of all that, actually have some money left over for me? And for the amount of time worked, which I'm sure you probably feel very similar, because like I said, us gym owners, we put in a lot of sweat, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And sometimes it feels like we just don't get anything out of it. Recently, I was off to work, off to the gym one morning, and I noticed one of the gyms in my area was closed. And I saw a notice on the door that said that that the owner from this gym hadn't taken a salary since the day they opened in, I don't remember the exact date, but let's say it was around 2018, 2019. No single salary, not a penny from the gym since. And they've just recently closed their doors. Now, that's a facility I would have loved to have been able to help, but that's not the way that gym owners should be feeling. They should not be struggling to that degree. They should be able to make profit. They should be able to put food on their table, be able to support their families, be able to reinvest money in the business, be able to help more people. Because again, if you can't do any of those things, then you won't be able to help anybody because your doors will be closed. So that's something that I don't want to ever have happen to anybody, because I know how hard you guys work and I know how much this means to you. So it's super important that what we do is we figure out a way to get out of this trap. Now, the biggest problem, or one of the biggest problems that gym owners run into, is that, especially us as small gym owners, we look around and we see what everybody else is doing. We say, oh, that place looks super busy and it looks like they're doing great and it looks like they've got it all figured out. So I'm going to copy them. I'm going to do what they're doing. But how do you know they're actually doing well? You don't. Because what might actually look like a successful gym on the surface may be closed in 30, 60, 90 days. And if you've just copied everything that they've done because it looks like they're busy and it looks like they're doing well, but here they are closing their doors 30 days later, is that something you really want to be copying? Probably not, right? Okay, so let's rewind. Let's take another look at this. Like I said, I was in a spot where we were really lacking a lot of sales. So my solution, let's get more sales. That's not a solution. We both know that. So what did I do? I had a realization after dealing with this for months, after months, after months, that I couldn't do it on my own anymore. And it was hard. It was a tough realization. It was a swallow your pride type of moment to ask for help. And I hired a business coach and somebody who knew the industry and knew the landscape of what I was going through and the struggles that I was encountering, and really helped put things into context and actually put systems in place of what the next period of time is going to look like. Let's call it 2.0, right? Moving forward into my gym 2.0. So, what that allowed us to do is start putting true systems in place that will actually have measurable results. Now, there's a lot of different systems we can put in place. There's everything from your pricing models all the way through to your sales strategies, your lead acquisition, how you're getting leads in the door, how you're actually selling, your follow-up cadence, your lead nurture cadence, your retention systems, your ascension systems. There is a lot of stuff, and I promise you, we're going to cover each and every one of those and more in all of these live streams going forward. So don't even worry. We're going to go through all of that stuff in tremendous detail every week. Like I said, I'll be outlining what we're going to cover. And if you guys have anything in particular that you want specifically covered, drop a comment on down below here. And what I'll do is I will make live streams specifically to the things that you're struggling with to help you out of that hole. Okay. So the more info you can give me on that, the better. I'll be able to help talk directly to some of the things that you're struggling with. So after putting some systems in place, what we actually did was we were able to, oh, there we go, back in focus. We're good. After we put some systems in place, and even like I said, because there are so many areas and so many different types of things that we can systematize, there are a lot of little changes that we can make that will have a big impact. Again, remember, I'm sure you've heard small hinges open big doors. So we can look at things from pricing all the way through, right? But the smallest changes alone will allow us to start getting a structure in place that kind of pulls us out of that train of thought of thinking like a gym owner, where all we're focused on is training and getting people training and active and moving and in the facility. And don't get me wrong, that's super important. I'll fix my focus again. There we go. See, first live stream, it couldn't go off without a couple little hitches. So again, the training and everything on the gym floor is super, super important. So I'm not telling you to neglect that. Don't, because that's really important. But you also need to know what happens on the business side of things. Because again, remember, if we don't make this a profitable and lucrative and successful business, then your dreams and your aspirations of helping people and guiding people and transforming lives, they're just not going to be possible because you're not going to be open long enough to actually make a true impactful difference. So that's why what we need to do is we need to look at the systems. So I'll give you an example. Back in the day, we were running a low barrier offer, an LBO of $30 for 30 days. Now, a low barrier offer, what that is for anybody unfamiliar, is it's just a simple, small, little, typically intro, let's call it package that you offer that is going to allow people or attract people to come into you to try you out. Now, at the time, we were doing, like I said, that $30 for 30 days, which meant anybody new who would come to us, they could try all of our classes, everything in our facility for $30, and they would get 30-day access. Now, on the surface, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. You may hear some things that say low barrier offers are bad. You want to sell to people right away. There are a lot of different ways that you can approach your client acquisition. Again, we'll get into all of those details, but the biggest thing that I want you to take away from this live stream right now, when it comes to any type of intro offer or your low barrier offer, or whatever that may look like to you, it doesn't matter so much what you pick. What matters most is that you have a proper system in place to actually fulfill, nurture, and follow up. So in our case, what we were doing was we had a $30 for 30 days trial, and we would basically let people do whatever they wanted for the 30 days. And at the end of the 30 days, we would just hope that we were able to catch them and they loved it enough to sign up. Now, based on what I told you about 5 minutes ago, when we were having 10 people come and 10 people leave every month, the statistics are telling you that that wasn't working, right? It's telling us that that wasn't working. So something needed to change because what we were doing is we were putting the onus, we were letting the clients or the prospects in this case decide, is this something I can see myself doing long term? Is this a place I want to be long term? They were just entirely making that decision all on their own. And it's not to say that we want to take that decision out of their hands because that's not what sales is about. But we weren't really conducting any actual structured conversations with them at all. Like I said, we would just hope that on their 30th or so day, we would catch them and they would just stop by and sign up for something. So you can see why we had a problem, right? It wasn't working out. So what we needed to do is we needed to systematize. So we needed to put an actual system in place. Now, that system itself has changed. We have tried a bunch of things over the years. Like I said, some of which very successful, some of which not so successful. And that's what I'm here to give you guys. I want to give you guys the very best ones that you can use and you can implement in your business overnight. And there are three in particular that stand out that will always perform the best. And that goes from a performance standpoint from your ads for any actual lead acquisition that you're doing on that side. And we'll talk specifically about that. But also the throughput. So the amount of people that come in and then how they convert on the back end into a long term membership. So those three in order of duration that will always perform best are a 7-day free trial, a 21-day free trial, or a 6-week paid challenge. Okay. Now we'll get into more details about specifically how you would market each and every one of those. And for us, we've done all three. We've tried all three at different times. I have firsthand sold hundreds and hundreds of people into each and every one of those with very high success rates. closing percentages of about consistently 80% across all three. There are differences between which one you want to implement depending on exactly where your business sits now. Okay. If you are looking to pump more people into your gym and want to get bodies in your classes and fill those up as quickly as possible, a 7-day trial is definitely the one you want to go to. If you're looking to do, let me go to the other end of the spectrum. If you're looking to get cash upfront in hand on day one, because cash is the most important thing that you need, while still getting a solid number and a solid amount of volume, then you want to opt for your 6-week paid. It's a 6-week paid challenge that you can market as free. And we'll talk about that and get into details of how that actually looks on another live stream, because that one's important and it'll generate a ton of money for you right away. Okay. And then your middle ground there is a 21-day free trial. Now, there are opportunities within that 21-day trial. And again, when we talk about having things systematized, you're not waiting 21 days until you actually get money in, right? You're going to sign somebody up for a 21-day trial. You're going to give them a structure over the course of your 21 days. And then in the middle, on your day 14 or your day 7, but day 14 is typically best, you're going to sell them into something on the back end. So again, just to take a step back here and to take another look at this specifically, the way that we're kind of outlining it, what I did before, $30 for 30 days. There's nothing wrong with that. Where the problem laid is that it was come in, pay $30, do whatever you want, and then go on your merry way. Stop by the front desk if you want to sign up for a membership. There's no system in place there. There's no nurture. There's no follow-up sequence. There's nothing. So the onus is completely on the client, or the prospect in this case, to make a decision of whether or not they want to become our clients. Okay? Now, when we look at our other front-end offers or our low barrier offers, either that 7-day trial, a 21-day free trial, or that 6-week paid challenge, there are systems in place there. Okay? So for example, on our 7-day trial, somebody comes in as a new lead, we have a call with them to get them signed up. Of course, we book them into 3 classes. Excellent. They're booked in. There is an accountability fee if they miss those classes. And then on day 7, what they do is they have a meeting, a follow-up meeting, or a feedback meeting, if you will, with the coach. And that is your actual sales meeting. Each and every one of those meetings and those check-ins has a script, and that script allows you to hit on all of the necessary things that you need to actually determine what you need to do as a coach to help this person get to their goal. So again, you can see the difference, right? $30 for 30 days. Let them decide if they want to stick around. Not that great. 7 days, free, with a clear-cut system in place to see how we can help them. Again, what their goals are, what they're looking to do, how we can help them, and how we are best going to get them to that goal long term. Okay, one of the biggest differences here is that we are no longer commoditizing ourselves. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of other gyms, probably in your city alone, that are offering the exact same thing as you, if not very similar. Okay. For us, what we need to do is set ourselves apart from the pack. How can we separate ourselves? We're not selling access to our facility anymore. We are simply selling the results. That's going to be the biggest change. Okay. So where we are now, let's look at fast forward about 5 or 6 years. Right now, we went from a facility that was struggling. Like I said, every month, losing 10, gaining 10, gaining 11, losing 9, and so on and so forth, right? Rinse and repeat every single week, or excuse me, every single month. Now, what we're able to do is, because we have the right systems in place, the systems that I'm going to teach you, we are able to, first of all, be profitable, which is excellent. Second of all, pay everybody appropriately, which is even better. Now we can make the money that we want to make while still being able to help and transform many lives along the way. We're able to add over 30 members every single month, month over month over month, every month, and do it in a profitable way. That's the most important thing. Again, looking down the road, and I'll touch on this in a second, we'll talk about what it actually looks like and how do you get members in a profitable way so that each member you get pays for another member. That's important. We don't want to be losing money on the customer acquisition, but again, we'll talk about that. So we're able to get over 30 members every single month, month over month, while making more money than we were ever making before and profiting more money than we were ever profiting before. So now we are in a place where we are generating over 7 figures in revenue every single year. It's a big transition, and that's a big leap from where we used to be, which was struggling or dying, right? That gym was really struggling before, but now it's in a place where it's growing, it's expanding, and it's making money. So that is just a quick little synopsis and an intro of who I am, what my story is, where I came from, what I've struggled with, what I've dealt with. A lot of the same things that I imagine probably some of you are going through right now. And listen, believe me, it's okay. There is a way out. I can show you exactly what to do and how to do it and what to sell and how to say it and all those good things. But what is the most important thing here is that I want you guys to just truly believe that you, and I know that you believe this on the side of training, you can make a difference and you can impact many, many lives. I want you to believe the same thing when it comes to your business. Okay. Prioritize the health of your business, because without a healthy business, you won't be able to help any more clients, because you won't be able to keep paying rent. You won't be able to pay yourself. You won't be able to enjoy the life that you want to live. And I know that's something that is important in the entrepreneurial journey too. So, what you can expect coming down the line in this group, inside these lives, like I said, just a reminder, every single week, every Wednesday, 7 p.m., I'm going to go live. I'm going to drop specific lives based on the things that I know you guys are wanting to see, the questions that you have. So again, if you have any questions, drop them in the comment box down below and I will just address them specifically. Again, if there's something that everybody, is it like, what kind of questions should I be asking in a sales meeting? I'll touch on that. If it's, what statistics do I need to know and do I need to track? We'll touch on that. A lot of these things that are going to make a huge difference and really impact and make a massive change in your business. I'm going to hit on those things because I want to do everything I can to provide you guys as much value as I can and help you get results. And I not only want to help you guys get results, but I want to help you guys get those actionable and measurable results pretty much right away. I want you to be able to watch these live streams and I want you to be able to take away something from each call right away that you can just implement into your business and see some sort of benefit immediately. Okay. That's really, really important. It's important for us to be able to make changes and see results. Last thing I want is for you guys to have to make a change and then not reap the benefits or the rewards of it for weeks and weeks and weeks. Okay. Because we get impatient. And if we don't see results quickly, we think it's not working. But the systems work. Okay. If you're doing something and not seeing the results, then there is something else going on. And that could just be time. But I want to give you guys the best information and the best actionable items, like I said, that will move the needle as quickly as possible. Okay. So thank you guys for hopping on today. I appreciate it. I'm super, super excited for you guys to be part of this group, to be involved in the community. If you have questions, please fire away. If there's anything you want to see in specific on these lives in the future, drop that down in the comment box below. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m., I will be going live. If you have any questions, you can also just DM me, shoot me a message on Facebook. I'm happy to answer and chat real quick and just provide you with any value that I can. Remember, you guys succeeding is exactly what I want, because together we can help countless lives. We can impact a ton of people. So let's transform some lives. Let's make a ton of money, and let's make a difference. Okay. Let's make a difference. So thank you guys for hopping on. I appreciate it. And I cannot wait to see you next Wednesday. Have a good night, guys.